But I don't look at it in that way.
Shape this year. Kind of have to be, but I
I don't know what I'm doing.
just
Anything.
playing. You kind of get
I
that
sit here and
chance.
say I'm growing. I don't know.
But I think the pressure is much
Trying to
more
put up
stable.
Playing environment.
Yeah,
Similar to maybe the postseason, or similar to an ACC road game. So that's not the first time that I think that's definitely a mindful of that as well.
You've been around the game in so many different capacities. You mentioned you don't think you're growing the game yourself, but is it rewarding to see that the game has sort of grown here in the last season? I don't know anymore for the time frame on it, but given the different platforms you've had, to see where it's gone.
Definitely, having been a player, a long time ago, and now getting a chance to watch my players go through it, it's awesome to see how much it has grown. How I don't know, they just have so many more opportunities all the way around in college sports. So I think it's great, and I enjoy watching them enjoy being a player and enjoy their career.
You have much turnover as you guys have had over these past 4 years. Does it feel like you're starting over at this point in the year? And how does that work, with you trying to build continuity with it being your 4th year?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when you kind of, strategically plan out, what it's going to look like, it doesn't always hit that. Sometimes you hit below it, sometimes you hit above it, but I think all along, I've been mindful of the long-term approach to what we're building. When we got here 3 years ago, we got here at the end of July in the middle of COVID, so the 2020s were already signed, like they were coming to campus, so we had no ability to recruit that class. If you go back and look at that time frame too, because we were in the middle of COVID, the 2021s, like 45 of the top 50 players were already committed somewhere too, so we had very little ability to recruit 21s either. So we focused our efforts on the 22 and 23 class because that was the next, right? That's all we could do. And those players are just freshmen and sophomores now. So that's how long it takes, right? And then freshmen and sophomores, there's a period of where they've got to grow and they've got to learn as you all cover the sport, right? It's very rare for a player to come in and dominate a league as a freshman, right? Even as a sophomore. It's rare. It happens, but it's rare. And certainly in the COVID era, I think it's even more rare because there's 5th years and 6th years on the court, right? So it's even more difficult as a young player to kind of find your way. So I think we're on schedule, in terms of what I thought 3 years ago. And we're really excited about those classes that we brought in. And, now it's time to develop them and grow them and continue to bring in more classes behind them, right? It never stops. And see how far it takes us.
And building on that, I think she's super talented freshman. Just getting to start.
Yeah, T is,
But yeah, I mean,
she's young. She's a sophomore, but she's experienced because she played, last year in our league too. So she knows the league a little bit. She's been a great addition to our locker room and to our team on the court. She's a talented player, and for her, it's just been, running the point at different places. There are different emphases, and just trying to get used to personnel, like all of those things, being a new player and having a new team. So she's working toward getting that down at the level you have to have it down as a point guard. And I'm excited about the year for her. I think she's excited about playing this
Expansion and the fact that this league is adding Stanford and Cal and SMU and what that might mean as far as schedules and travel and things like that. Do you have any thoughts about the league expanding and what it might mean for women's basketball?
Numerous thoughts.
What is adding a brand like Stanford, given how good this league is? Do you see that as a threat, or do you see it as good for the league overall? I've heard coaches on sort of both sides.
I play whoever they put in front of me, man. I don't really get into all that stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to stonewall your question. People that know me know I don't really get into all those things. I mean, whoever they tell me to play, I'll play, and we'll do our best.
Do you have any preferred method on the scheduling? I've heard some say play everybody once and one team twice, or does that kind of make you at it?
How do I say this? On things I have very little choice on or influence on, I try not to spend a lot of brain power on them because it doesn't matter what I think. On things that doesn't matter what I think, I'm not gonna waste my time on it, if that makes sense. So since I don't control that, I don't really care.
Coach, have you seen Camilla stepping up into a leadership role? As you know, she's the oldest player on the team. Has she been helping? And even though it's her first year within the Duke system, has she been, stepped up to play a bigger role on the squad?
Yeah, she's going to be an impact player for us. She's just getting her feet back under her. Obviously, sitting out, not just transferring from Yale, but sitting out the year because of the injury. There's just a lot of rust. It's like every week, it's just more and more, and that rust is popping off. She's got great size, great ability to score in the paint, and so it's just a matter of continuing to grow within our system, our defense. So I feel really good about her, but I also think like what we see in November is going to be vastly different than what we see in January and February, because this will be the highest level she's played. No disrespect to her former school and her former league, but like this is a different level, and so there's going to be some kind of recalibration for her with the speed, the athleticism of this league, and once she kind of gets a handle on that, I think she'll be an impact player for us.
Kara, it's off topic a little bit from your team, given the news of Tasha Butts'
Yeah, I'm
passing.
not going to answer any questions.
Okay.
I think that was probably the biggest adjustment.
With the changes in accountable coaches that are on the court during games, how do you expect that to change maybe how you and the staff handle the games and the situation?
It's definitely something.
Accountable coaches on the bench or just in general?
Well, like probably on the bench too, be more hands-on on the court versus last year.
I mean, it's definitely helpful. Especially when coaches go recruiting, and you can still kind of have enough people. So I definitely like the change. I'm glad that it's happened, and I also think getting a chance to have more coaches have the opportunity to be on the court. I mean, it's kind of like the way you get better at coaching is to coach.
Right.
So it's kind of hard if you're not allowed to be on the court to actually get better at coaching. So I think all of that is good to continue to get more and more people into the occupation and give them opportunities on the court.
Coach Lawson, Jen Lewis, 3 Chicks and a Pad and New Stitch Media. Just with the influx of youth that you have on your team this year, how do you think that's going to impact your offense and what we'll see?
I don't know yet, to be honest with you. With so many new faces, I'm trying to figure out what is the best way for us to play and what is the best stuff for us to run. And so I don't know yet. Trying to get a feel for the young ones and kind of what they're capable of and how much they can handle. And once I kind of get a better feel for that, I do think we have a little more athleticism across the board than we did a year ago, but much more inexperience. So I don't know how that will manifest itself within the games.
Has the portal changed how you look at high school recruiting at all? When it comes to what kind of player you would take or things like that?
Yeah, so like I've only been in coaching with the portal, so I never looked at it enough. You know what I mean? Like I know I'm saying that a lot, but it's like true. Like when I got here, COVID years got added, transfer portal, and then or immediate eligibility and portal, and then NIL, right? So like this is what I know. There's been a little bit of changes like with it, but pretty much this is how it's been for me. So. I definitely, we're looking to attack and get great players out of high school to come because talent accrual is the name of the game. Whether you're getting it out of high school or you're getting it out of the portal. We signed 4 players in this class, a 4-player freshman class, it's the top 5 class in the country. You know, so we're pleased with that. You know, hopefully we can continue to build. We had a number 10, top 10 class in 22. I like being there, so I'm going to try and stay there as best I can in top classes coming in.
And then use the portal to maybe fill a hole or a specific need?
Yeah, I mean, potentially. I don't think you can not look at it, right? It's definitely a place that you can look to improve your team. And so if we feel like there's a player out there in the portal that we feel like can make us better, yeah, we'll recruit them. It doesn't mean they'll come. I mean, obviously the good players have a lot of suitors, but yeah, I think we've shown we'll be aggressive there if we feel like it's a need that we have on the roster. You know, we had a need at the point guard position and bringing in T. We had a need for some depth in the front court and bringing in Camilla, right? So you look at kind of what you have and you use the portal to attack what you need for that upcoming year.